You, well, we're at 74 now. And this is a rather weird episode. Why? Because it's super freaking just different. Jim Morales, the gym teacher, the male dorm instructor, the right hand of Principal John Luke Delmos, failed independent movie actor and just overall just oblivious klutz. Jim Morales has been one of, if not the most key adult in the Coleoco universe. He saved the students of Caddick Academy more times than he recognized, mainly because of the time reset function that has been used on him a grand total of 6 times to this point. Last time it was almost played off as a joke and as an annoyance. But the Coleoco writers give him his ultimate thank you note in an episode called I'd Rather Not Talk About It. His corny yet very mysterious catchphrase that he started using at the beginning of season 2 when talking about his many other jobs before ending up at Caddick, which of course none of these are true. It's time for Jim Morales to get revealed, even though he tries to live up to the lies. Thanks to some unique animation that actually looks surprisingly well hand drawn. We find out the truth about all of it without words from Jim being spoken. The fans are let into the ruse while the ruse continues. And what's the setup for this? Well, Jeremy, as he always has since season 3, decides to wake up on the I gotta stick up my ass side of the bed this morning. He's complaining about the Lyoko Warriors not being physically fast enough to keep up with Xana Specters or to get through Lyoko missions quicker, and he's putting them through paces. But, of course, the other Lyoko warriors instantly see through his bullshit and call him out asking, well, what do you suggest we do? Get a new instructor? Well, they do. Thanks to Aelita suggesting Jim. This is what gets him dragged into the episode. He's more than happy to oblige, but he starts up his commando boot camp, which sounds exactly like it is. A literal military-like boot camp complete with basic training obstacle courses. Yeah, Jim puts them all, Aelita included, through hell. Seeing this poor 12 or 13-year-old pink-haired beauty go through the physical restraint of a ninja warrior course is both harrowing and worthy of getting a hug. But it's not just her. Yumi's beat the heck. Everybody is. And Jeremy Jeremy instantly, along with everyone else, sees this as a bad idea. Everything seems to be going okay next to borderline needing medical assistance until a boar shows up. This is where Xana rears his ugly head, doing a rather season one idea and just possessing the boar. It's it's making the other Lyoko warriors have to put in some extra physical training. But in an effort to protect our intrepid group from the boar, Jim gets his knee gets his knee tweaked. This is only after the exposited stories that I talked about, highlighting Jim's actual life. As Jim continues to lie, we see the truth behind the lies, given directly to the audience. After failing as an actor, see Paco the King of Disco, he starts his work at Caddick Academy as the janitor before moving up to tester for the school's pool, all the way up to the instructor we know him today. After a, after a long, arduous career, in other words, Jim has been making the sacrifices, doing the small stuff to make Caddick Academy not only a safe place to learn your education, but one that can stand toe to toe physically, physically as a beacon for child growth. Jim, despite his brains, despite his harebrained stories, despite sometimes his aggressive attitude towards disciplining the kids of Caddick, has always been what great teachers are, putting the students' safety, well-being, physical skill, and ultimately making sure the students are in a better physical and mental place even through all the struggle. In other words, his heart shines through his lies. His fictional stories may not be true, but the kids don't care. They let Jim be Jim, and they know at the end of the day, he's got their best interest at heart. Something that Jeremy oddly respects due to the fact that Jim gives him some positive encouragement despite his unathletic looks and his lack of being able to do basic things. But one thing he is good at is assessing a situation. And he properly puts himself in Jim in a situation where they could be safe, actually using great yet simple survival techniques. If you played Metal Gear Solid 3, some of these techniques get highlighted through that wonderful work. But it's not enough to stop the boar from trying to take Jeremy out. On Lyoko, after successfully getting rid of the boar, it's up to the group to do basic Lyoko things, in which they succeed at it. Pretty cut and dry. Although there's a great battle between Yumi and William, in which William gets beat in the Sector 5 core zone, where the most of the Lyoko stuff takes place by getting monkey flipped directly to, into a fan going upward. It's a pretty badass William kill. Yui gets all the good stuff. The day is saved, the core of Ryoko is protected, and Kim has to use a cane for a few days. But most importantly, when Jim tells him the next boot camp, the other kids are out, but Jeremy's in due to the positive influence that Jim gave him through the ordeal. No, he doesn't get his memory wiped. Not this time. He gets to remember it. For maybe the first and only time in the history of the series, Jim helps the Warriors and gets to keep the memory of his assistants due to the outlandish scenario of Boar going rogue. Simple. This episode is a Jim appreciation episode in both his comedical stories, his ability to make fanciful fantasies, but also showcasing why he is who he is. John Luke's right hand and the Academy's gym teacher that do everything guy. Despite there being many other instructors in Katek Academy that we've seen over time, it feels like Jim is the only one doing anything. And this episode highlights why it is that way. Not only why it feels that way, but why you love him. Despite his idiocy, Jim Morales is many things. Jim Morales shows the heart of the human spirit, the heart of human beings, more so than any virtual form, more so than any Lyoko power. Jim Morales, an actor dropout turned academic pseudo savant, shows the best of the human spirit, the best of what teachers represent, what a good instructor or a mentor can bring. Jim Morales is a good character, despite his aboveishness. He is the best character, in my view, never to get virtualized, because God knows what he would do with virtual power. It would not only be interesting, it would be a period at the end of a great sentence. Something that the entire series has done. And this episode writes most of the paragraph. It's kind of sad that we never got the true period. At least not yet, if rumors can be believed, to the sentence. If season 5 does, in fact, happen, this would be one of my demands. Get Jim in a scanner. Let him experience the true power of a hero. Let him, for just one day, live out the hero fantasies in his mind. Let him remember it. Let him build off of it. Let Jim Morales be the bigger man that's in his head. Why? Because he's done all the effort to deserve it. And I'd rather not talk about it. It's his magnum opus. It's a celebration of a side character. One that you don't really think about. But really, if you're gonna go back and watch this series as I have, take a moment to look at Jim's contributions. Really do. And you'll see that he's actually one of the most helpful characters here, if not one of the best. He's been written the most consistently out of everyone here. And this episode proves it. It's a 6 out of 6. And I would have not said that 20 years ago. But I do now. Because with the passage of time, you'll learn things about yourself you never knew you did. And remember, all it takes is a that boy. You did good enough. Or what Jim said to Jeremy, you got potential. You got guts. All it takes is the right person to say the right thing. And you'll be motivated to go through hell too. In your own way. Don't put yourself down for what you can't do. Rise yourself up. Show the world what you can. Find peace in your own nirvana. I'll see you next week.